What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another episode of the Dossier, the show where we take a look at all the Marvel Crisis Protocol characters, share our thoughts, what we like, what we don't like, both character and the cards, do a quick rundown, and of course, generally share our potato opinions. As with all things you hear from me, take it as it is, and it is a potato opinion in every sense of the word. So if you agree, awesome. If you don't agree, that's awesome as well. But either way, sound off in the comments. Let me know why you agree or don't agree and all that sort of stuff. Before we get going, this show can only be brought to you for the lovely support that all of you subscribers and patrons give. If you would like to support the channel, check out patreon.com/AegisBrandStudios. $1 a month helps keep the lights on, helps keep new content rolling. But anyway, we are continuing on with the Dossier characters, taking a look at the new Earth's Mightiest Core Set models. And today's lucky model is going to be good old Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. So this is the Winter Soldier Operative. I'm going to try and get it to focus in here. And right off the hop, I'm going to say I love this model. I think it's a lot better than the previous model. He's actually got a little bit of bulk on him. A lot of the earlier models had some interesting scaling going on where they didn't quite feel large enough in some cases, and I feel like that's really been addressed with these models of late. They actually feel like they have a little bit of mass to them. They feel like they take up more of the base, which is really nice. I really like the pose in general. I know people aren't a big fan of like the tactile rock type things, which he's got with the ammo case here. But I like it. I think it works in this particular case. I like that he's got the knife ready to go. I like that he's got his assault rifle poised up. And I like that this one has the mask instead of the domino mask. So this time he's got like the rebreather on, which I think is a much better look for the Winter Soldier. As far as the model goes, very easy to put together. Nothing weird or surprising going on with it. AMG continues to really showcase the fact that their designers have just gotten so good with putting these together. Even a lot of the mold lines are very well hidden or very easy to get rid of. So it did not take too long to get Bucky put together at all, and I think he looks great on the table. A lot of the details really pop, like that the raised star just really works nicely. The shoulder or the knee pads, again, just they give a nice little bit of pop of color to it all. Could have probably done with maybe an elbow pad, but I mean that's just maybe nitpicky right there. Even the details on his tactical vest really come through nicely. So all in all, I really like the model. It is definitely a standout for me from the Earth's Mightiest Core Set. As far as the cards, so he's got his main card right here. So Winter Soldier Operative James Bucky Barnes. You'll see here he's got a pretty solid stat line, 4, 3, and 4. So it's nice to have some Mystic Defense on that because the core, the original Bucky, did not really have any Mystic Defense, and that hurt him quite a bit. 6 stamina, so he's a little bit beefier, but he is 4 threat. With size 2 and medium, and I think that stays, so he does lose a point of stamina on his injured side. For his attacks, so we see some changes here. So his Spec Ops rifle replaces the assault rifle. It's range 5 dice. It is a builder with a wild suppressive. Before damage is dealt for each wild in the attack roll, the target character loses 1. I like this. I think this is a fine exchange for the rapid fire. It means he's not going to be exploding as much as previous Bucky was able to before the changes, but having that suppressive, if you happen to roll a lot of wilds, you can actually really cripple somebody's power generation. And note that it doesn't have to deal damage for the suppressive to happen, so if you roll a couple wilds and they block all the damage, well, you're still going to sap power, well, not sap, but you're going to remove power from them, and that's huge. Next up, we have the Concussion Grenade, which is an energy attack, range 3, 5 dice for 1 power. If it deals damage, the target character gains stun, and then it's got a wild blinding flash. After the attack is resolved, target character and enemy characters within 2 of it gain shock. I was not sure what to think of this one at first. I liked it, but I am growing to like it more and more. On a 5 dice attack, getting that 1 damage off, not too difficult. Adding a wild into it, like being able to both stun and shock a lot of people, especially potentially on round 1, is kind of a big deal. I think that's actually really cool because both of those are really kind of crippling conditions that can really throw off somebody's game plan. Next up, we have another physical attack, the Red Agent, range 3, 7 dice for 3. It's got a hit, wild, clean sweep. After the attack is resolved, deal 1 damage to each other enemy character within 3 of this character. Note that's 3 within Bucky, not 3 within the target character. Again, I really like this. It's not quite as strong as Red Fury. which could push a target away, and then get an assault rifle, which can rapid fire. But this can still get a lot of work done, and it's a great way of sort of like clearing out a bunch of targets, or putting a bunch of like little damage onto things. If you have the power to do it twice, especially, I mean, that's just potentially 2 free damage onto a bunch of targets on top of like 2 7-dice attacks. So I really like it. We got Hit and Run, which I love. 2 power action, character immediately makes an attack followed by a move action. Can only be used once per turn. It's great mobility. It allows him to take advantage of the fact that he has stealth, which, I mean, spoiler on that one, he's got stealth. So I really like it, and really allows him to take advantage of a lot of his range. So he can really be a skirmisher and be annoying to take out. We got Kill Box, and this one is great. 3 power. When an enemy character ends an advance or is placed within 4 of this character may use the superpower. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 3 or less within 2 of the enemy character that was advanced or placed. Destroy the terrain feature. The enemy character suffers a collision as if the terrain had collided with it. Can only be used once per turn. It is a pseudo throw. It's a 3 for 3. You don't have to worry about placing the movement widget to try and get that hit off. This is awesome. This is absolutely fantastic. It's going to catch people, and I think it's absolutely worth the 3 power for it. So, I mean, anytime I throw, you got to throw for size 3. It's usually worth it. And then we got Spetsnaz Training, which we saw in the original Bucky. Reroll 1 die when either attacking or being attacked by a character that is within 1. So yeah, just some basic reroll there. We have lost Got Your Back, and we have lost Hydra Tactics, which is unfortunate. Hydra Tactics is borderline busted, and because of how often you can do it. And then of course Got Your Back leads to a lot of negative play experiences for people. Overall, I really like this Bucky. I think with the recent changes to the other Bucky, there is a strong argument for this one to be played. He does come with a notable tactics card, which is Sold At Activated, which is an unaffiliated reactive card. After you choose your leadership, if you happen to choose Cabal, Criminal Syndicate, or Hydra, an allied James Bucky Barnes, which I think might capture the original Winter Soldier as well, with a Spetsnaz training superpower, may play this card. He gains Compelled Minion. It's an innate. When an allied character with an active leadership within 2 of this character is targeted by an attack, the allied character gains cover after the attack is resolved. If the allied character was not dazed or KO'd, this character may spend 2. If it does, it may immediately make an attack with a cost of 0, targeting the attacking character. Additionally, when this character begins an activation with 2 of an allied character with an active leadership, this character gains 1 power and may remove 1 damage. That is a lot of text for what's really a solid card. I mean, you have the potential of really powering up Bucky, keeping him alive, getting in some extra attacks in there. It's an interesting thing because it's kind of like Got Your Back, but not quite. So yeah, it's Got Your Back without requiring the days, which is really kind of nice. So I really like it. I think this is kind of a fascinating card, and I think if you're seeing Bucky, you're in those affiliations, you're going to see him a lot. So yeah, that is the new Winter Soldier Operative. Obviously, he's affiliated a bunch of places. He does not have Rogue Agent, so he's a little bit harder to slot in as a splash to some places, but I think we will find a home for him. He's going to perform really well. I really want to play around with him in Shield a little bit. I've played with him in Winter Guard a bit, and he was really nice there. And just in general, I like him. So yeah, that is the Winter Soldier, or the Winter Soldier Operative, James Bucky Barnes. Leave your comments below. What do you think of the new Winter Soldier? And of course, if you want to support the channel, hit up patreon.com/AegisBrandStudios. We'll see you next time. Happy wargaming.